salve, reina y madre, oh María, en el cielo entronizada estás, oh María. Serafines exaltad, querubines aclamad a la reina celestial. Salve, 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 Regina. Madre de misericordia, oh María, vida y esperanza nuestra, oh María. Serafines exaltad, querubines aclamad a la reina celestial. Salve, 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 Regina.
Mexico is an Indian country south of the United States, and its culture is one of the oldest in the world. Dating before the birth of Christ, the most important of the Indian races are the Aztec and the Toltec. These pagans worshipped ugly gods. Even human sacrifices were offered to the gods. Some of the gods were adored in a temple. The Indian tribes wore very colorful costumes, especially during the dances on certain feast days honoring the gods.
Like somebody that I gon' get boned. Gon' get boned. Like somebody that I gon' get boned. Gon' get boned. Like somebody that I gon' get boned. Gon' get boned. Like somebody that I gon' get boned. Gon' get boned. Like somebody that I gon' get boned. Gon' get boned. Like somebody that I gon' get boned. Gon' get boned. Like somebody that I gon' get boned. Gon' get boned. Like somebody that I gon' get boned. Gon' get boned.
The Spanish conquest of Mexico was begun by Hernando Cortez in 1500. Many Aztec and Toltec buildings and temples were destroyed. The Spanish adventurers mistreated the Indians in order to steal their gold and get rich quickly. The Spanish rulers and soldiers were a bad example for the Indians.
Franciscan and Dominican priests came from Spain to instruct the Indians in the Christian religion. Their missionary work was very difficult because of the pagan religion of the natives and because of the brutality of the rulers and soldiers. The Indians despised these invaders, but they began to trust the missionaries who taught them not only religion, but also a new way of life for their families.
Many churches and schools were built.
The Mother of God had compassion on these oppressed pagan Indians and came to help them.
Juan Diego, a 57-year-old Aztec Indian convert, lived in a village a few miles north of the present city of Mexico City. His wife died 2 years before, and he did not have any children of his own. Juan was living with his uncle, also a convert.
On Saturday, December 9th, 1531, Juan was on his way to Holy Mass in honor of Our Lady, which was to be followed by instructions in the Christian faith. The early converts had the custom of going to Mass on Saturdays in honor of the Virgin Mary at the Church of St. James.
It was very early in the morning. Juan heard the song of birds. He then heard a woman's voice calling him. Juan climbed a hill called Tepeyac Hill. There among the rocks he saw the woman. She was bathed in golden beams of light. She was very young and had a beautiful face. Her clothes were colorful and the stones around her appeared like jewels. The beautiful woman asked,
Juan, where are you going?
Juan replied,
My lady, I am hurrying to Holy Mass. Dear son, I love you. I am the Virgin Mary, Mother of God, who created all things. I desire that a church be built in this place, where I will show my compassion to your people and to all who sincerely ask my help in their work and in their sorrows. Here, I will console them, so hurry to the city and tell the bishop all that you have seen and heard. Juan began his journey down Tepeyac Hill to Mexico City to see the bishop. The bishop was moved by the sincerity of this convert, but was doubtful that the Queen of Heaven would want a church in the desert area where no people lived. He told Juan that he would think it over. The bishop told him to go home and they would talk about it another time.
Juan left and returned to Tepeyac Hill. When he approached the top of the hill, the lady was there. He knelt before her and told the story of his visit to the bishop. He told her that he was unworthy of her trust. He asked that she send someone else to the bishop.
The lady answered,
My little son, you are the one I have chosen. Return to the bishop tomorrow and repeat my request for a church in this place.
Juan answered,
No, lady, I will do what you ask, but I fear the bishop will not be pleased to see me again so soon. Tomorrow I will return to tell you of my visit.
After Mass the next day, Juan again traveled to Mexico City to see the bishop. The bishop listened patiently and said to Juan, Ask for a sign. The bishop had the power to make the Virgin Mother's wish come true, but he wanted proof. Juan promised to return with whatever sign the lady might choose.
Traveling again at the top of the hill, Juan knelt at the feet of the Holy Virgin and told her of the bishop's request for a sign. She told Juan to return at daybreak the next day, and she would give him a sign that he could take to the bishop.
On his way home, Juan was sure now that the Virgin Mary had chosen him to be her messenger, and he would obey her in everything she wanted him to do. When he arrived home, he learned his uncle was very ill with a contagious fever. He stayed with his uncle all night and the next day, and he was unable to meet with the Virgin Mary at daybreak.
On Tuesday, December 12, 1531, Juan left his uncle's home to get a priest and encountered the Virgin Mary on the way.
My dear little son, you are under my protection. I have cured your uncle. Now go to the top of the hill and cut the flowers growing and bring them to me.
Juan, being very puzzled, knew there were no flowers on the hill. It was winter, and the hill and the rocks were covered with frost, and the bushes were bare.
When he reached the top of the hill, Juan found beautiful roses growing among the rocks. He filled the apron of his tilma and returned to the Virgin Mary.
Mary said, "Little son, this is my sign to the bishop. Let no one see what you are carrying. Tell the bishop that I have cured your uncle, and that I myself have arranged these roses in this way. This time he will believe you." Upon arriving in Mexico City, Juan went to the bishop. Upon entering the room, he slowly let down his tilma and the beautiful roses fell to the floor. Juan smiled, and realizing the bishop's eyes were riveted to his cloak, he looked down at his tilma. Imprinted in all her beauty on the front of his tilma was a life-size image of the Virgin Mary, exactly as she had appeared to Juan on Tepeyac Hill.
The bishop and others in the room, having fallen to their knees, were convinced that the Mother of God had spoken to Juan and had asked that a church be built in her honor.
A joyful procession accompanied by the bishop to the cathedral where the tilma was put on display. The Indian converts and many others came to pray to the Blessed Virgin Mary. They were happy to know that the Mother of God had remembered them in their need and suffering and would help them.
Give your love to me. Put your trust in me. I'm your mother. on your mind.